This is Umar for BoxNation. I'm joined by legendary promoter Bob Arum, Mr. Top Rank himself. Bob, it's been a while since I've caught up with you. How's life treating you?
Good. Eric can't complain.
Can't complain. That's always good. Well, you couldn't
It's
complain.
above ground and breathing.
That's the one, Bob. Well, you can't complain with last night. Obviously, Top Rank had a good win with your middleweight champion Janibek. Thoughts on his victory last night?
Well, Janibek is for me, the best, a really great middleweight. And there are a lot of terrific fights coming down the pike for him. He has the two other title holders, Adamas and Lara, that he can fight. There's this English boy, Sheeraz, that would make a great fight. So I think, Janibek is ready to fight everybody, and we're going to keep him a lot more active next year.
Yeah, you mentioned the three real options that are realistic for Janibek there. Would you like to see him unify against one of Adames or Lara? Would you want that fight with Hamzah Sheeraz on a Riyadh season, Bill? What are your thoughts?
I would like the fight with Adamas or Lara to unify. And, the Riyadh season's coming to an end in February. So, you know, maybe we can, I would like to do the Janibek fight with Sheeraz in London and not in Riyadh.
Okay. What are your thoughts on Hamzah Sheeraz? Obviously, Frank Warren rates him extremely highly. What do you like about Hamzah?
Good, tough middleweight, good middleweight. He can compete with anybody. I think Janibek is too experienced and too strong for him, but that's why they do the fights. Sheeraz will give him a very difficult time, and I think it's a terrific fight.
Okay. Next week, a huge occasion, Bob. We're very lucky. We've had an undisputed fight in Usyk-Fury this year already, and we get another one. Two unbeaten guys. Your man, Artur Beterbiev, does go in as a slight favourite with the bookies. Confident that your guy will come out victorious, Bob?
Well, as you said, Bivol is a very good fighter, and probably next to Beterbiev, the best light heavyweight. I like Beterbiev because he's such a tremendous puncher and destroyer, and he knows how to box as well. So I like his chances in the fight, but it is a very close to even money fight.
I think, yeah, I can't really think of a better fight in boxing, Bob. Would you go along with that?
No, well, there's a lot of good fights in boxing, but that's one of the best, obviously, because there's such viewpoints on either side. Uh, and I think the odds reflect how close that fight is. And when you're dealing with two fighters of the caliber of Beterbiev and Bivol, it makes it for a very good night for boxing.
If your guy Artur is to be successful next Saturday in Riyadh, does that cement him as one of the best light heavyweights we've ever seen, Bob?
Well, certainly the best that I've ever seen. I've seen a ball pretty much, for Almada and Bob Foster and John Conte. Uh, yeah, I think Beterbiev is really something super special in the light heavyweight division. Uh, but again, October 12th is not going to be the end of his career. He's going to probably fight for another couple of years.
Do you see him stopping Dmitry Bivol next Saturday?
He stopped everybody else. Can he stop Bivol? I mean, that's what we'll have to see. That's why they do the fights. But Beterbiev, he, wears you down and then takes you out. And he's done it in 19 fights, 19 straight times. And I don't see why this 20th time wouldn't happen on October 12th.
Well, Artur Beterbiev, your guy, is certainly one of the best fighters in the world, pound for pound. Another pound for pound star that you have, Inoue, who's a superstar from Japan. What's the next move with him, Bob?
I think in Christmas Eve in Tokyo, he's going to fight the Goodman fighter
Yeah.
from Australia, who's very, very good. And then uh, we'll have to see. Uh, One of the biggest fights ever in Japan, which is now becoming the center of fighters in the lighter weight divisions from flyweight up through heavy featherweight. Uh, the fight that will pack the Tokyo Dome many times over is Inoue against Nakatani, which I hope we'll be able to put together next year.
What do you
Nakatani
see?
is bantamweight champ.
Yeah, correct. What do you see apart from Nakatani? Who do you see as Inoue's biggest fights?
Well, I don't know if there's a part from Nakatani. I mean, a lot of good fighters in that weight, uh, but none of them, in my opinion, on the level of Inoue. The only thing that's going to beat Inoue, the only guy who's going to beat Inoue is Father Time. I mean, it's simple as that. I mean, Inoue is a once in a generation fighter. And but again, you can't beat Father Time, and if he, as he goes up in age, uh, his skills will presumably diminish.
Is a super fight with Gervonta Davis realistic, or is that too much of a weight disparity there?
That's really a bridge too far. I mean, in a way, when he fights on on when he fights these light featherweights, 122, uh, is generally the much smaller guy. Now, if he goes up to 135 or higher, and he's fighting guys that he shouldn't be in the ring with, they're so much bigger than he is.
Mm, okay. Eddie's been pushing for MJ Akhmadiliev. Do you consider that one at all?
You know, Eddie is pushing for it because I guess because he has this, whatever the guy's name is. I've never seen him fight. Doesn't mean he isn't a good fighter. And maybe between the December 24th fight, when uh, he fights the Sam Goodwin, who's very good. Uh, he'll do another fight before he meets his uh, uh, the Japanese boy in this massive fight. But Eddie shouldn't be making prognostications in the newspaper. He should get on a phone and call Honda and, and see if they're interested in it.
Mm.
If they're interested in that fight, I'm all for it, you know. But for me, he's a guy I never even heard of.
But I want to discuss the heavyweights a bit, and I want to go back to Los Angeles where Martin Bakole stopped your guy Jared Anderson. I haven't spoke to you since that fight actually. So, how's Jared been doing, and what were your thoughts when that happened?
Well, Jarrett, his, his girlfriend or his partner just had a baby, so he became a father for the first time, and that's really taken most of his time and attention.
Okay. Putting that aside, Bob, how do you now bring Jared back? How do you rebuild him?
Well, that's again our matchmakers and everybody and his management, James Prince. We're all sitting down and talking about it, and it won't be until next year, and we're trying to figure it out. And I can't tell you right now off the top of my head. I've had debacles with great fighters who were, going to be the top superstars in their division, and then they get sidetracked and lose a fight, but sometimes we find a way to bring them back, and sometimes we're unable to do it. So we're working on that, and I have really nothing to report at this point.
Okay. But you still have high hopes for the young man, yeah?
Yeah, he's a good athlete, and he's a good fighter.
Okay. A couple of weeks ago, we saw Daniel Dubois stop Anthony Joshua emphatically inside 5 rounds. What was your take on the fight, Bob?
Didn't surprise me. Dubois started out as a house of fire in his professional career, and then he sort of seemed to lose interest. I mean, he looked terrible in the Joyce fight, uh, but he always had the talent. And I go back to his fight with Usyk when, from what I saw, I was watching on television. From what I saw, Dubois knocked Usyk out. I don't think that was a low blow. It was right on the belt line. And if it was on the belt line, Usyk couldn't have got up in 10 seconds, couldn't get up in 30 seconds, couldn't get up in a minute, and Dubois would have been the champion. So, I was always high on Dubois, and I've never been high on Joshua. Seems like a nice fellow, but I didn't ever think he was a great fighter, particularly after the Andy Ruiz fight. So again, it didn't surprise me.
Do you think he's finished at the top then, Anthony Joshua?
No idea. I don't know the guy. I don't know Joshua. I don't know if he's finished or he isn't finished or he's going to come back. I think fighters like Joshua uh, always keep coming back until somebody blows the whistle, like the British board, and tells them enough is enough. So I think Joshua is not finished. Now, does he have any ability to reach the highest level again? That remains to be seen. But, I think Joshua is just very, very vulnerable.
I'm guessing then your thoughts are if they do have a rematch that Daniel Dubois stops him again.
Oh yeah, I think the silliest thing for Joshua would be to fight Dubois again.
Okay. Well, what fans are really craving for is Dubois to be in the winner with the Usyk-Fury rematch, which happens on December 21st.
That makes the most that makes fight makes the most sense.
Yeah.
And it does no matter who wins Usyk and Fury. Because if Fury wins, it's a fight that would do massively well in the UK, where it belongs, in Wembley Stadium. I mean, it'd be a huge, huge fight. And if Usyk uh, wins again against Fury, uh, based on the controversy in their fight uh, the last time, I think it would be a massive, massive fight. So I think that's, if I'm drawing everything up, which I'm not, I think that that's the fight that Dubois should fight the winner of Furios.
Talking about Usyk Fury, what does Tyson have to do differently this time, Bob? Because he was winning that first half of that fight quite comfortably against Usyk.
I thought he won the fight. I gave him the second through the seventh round and the last round.
Hmm.
But again, one judge saw it that way and the other two didn't. So I think he's got to uh, uh, box Usyk the way he did and not relax and clown around and let Usyk back in the fight the way he did in May. So I think it's a very winnable fight for Fury, but he's got to be very intelligent in the fight.
Okay, Bob, I really do appreciate your time. I take it you'll be traveling out to Riyadh early next week.
No, I'm not because it's a big Jewish holiday, October 12th, Yom Kippur. So I'll staying back in Vegas with my fellow congregants, so I'm going to miss it. But Carl Moretti and various other people from Top Rank will be there. Unfortunately, I'm going to miss it, but I'll be in December. I'll be in Riyadh for the heavyweight fight.
Okay, okay. Well, listen, enjoy next week's undisputed fight, anyways, from Vegas, and then
Thank you.
I'm sure I'll see you soon. Thank you, Bob.
Goodbye.